Hey, Jody here. This is my friend Andrew Carden. He's visiting with me and we're shooting some welding videos. Today's video is open root 7016 pipe.
So if you guys have been following along, we did a modified overhead with the 7016 for an open root joint. We're going to take all what we learned in that last video and apply it to this new video when we're doing the 12-inch pipe. So we're going to be going from the 6 o'clock position on the pipe up to the 12 o'clock. Let's do it.
Why 7016? Why not 6010? There are some procedures being required in the industry now that require low hydrogen open root. That's the reason. You can catch an episode with Andrew on the Welding Tips and Tricks podcast. He explains all about it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. This is the test plate that we set up in a previous video, and I'll link it up right here. It's a modified overhead, so it's on about a 45-degree angle, sort of mocking up that portion of the pipe. So this is a 332 7016 low hydrogen rod root pass, 332 gap, 1/16 land. It's good practice for the pipe, but it's not quite like pipe because you don't have to reposition your rod angle. And that's why we're doing it. We did this first, the plate. Now we're on to pipe.
Okay guys, once again I'm going to harp on really prepping out your tacks. We're going to be running this out at about 70 amps. You'll see in this next frame, my tacks are prepped out about 1 inch back. So both sides of that tack's about 2 inches. I prepped the whole thing. Really 1 inch back is what you really got to be careful of.
You can see that Andrew's left the pipe wedge in there and also not prepped that tack, just to leave the meat on there until he gets closer to it to bevel it down and feather it down for a good tie-in. Again, a 332 gap, and you can see right here, that prep is a lot more than you would do with a 6010 root. These are not 6010 roots. This rod is different techniques, different prep on the tacks.
So guys, make sure you're getting comfortable. You can see I'm laying right down on the floor. Got my left hand propping up my rod so it doesn't get arc strikes outside of the weld zone. Once I pop off, really slow to come up towards where the end of my tack is. You see it takes me a little while to get there. I'm kind of letting the rod heat up, letting the tack heat up, and then once I get right to about where that keyhole is, it's going to start to push through. On this bottom, pro tip, you really got to move slow and you got to really be pushing that rod inside the pipe. Very common to have underfill or having it suck back a little bit on the inside of the bottom, and then once we get towards the top, you're going to see that there's going to be a problem of not getting enough in or getting too much in. So really on the bottom, focus on really jamming that rod up inside there to try to push a little bit extra material up inside the pipe, especially on the bottom.
All right, well, let's take a look at it here. It looks like you got through there, Andrew. It's a little bit above flush. Tie-in's good. That's a result of having prepped that tack real good. Now we're off of the direct overhead portion, and we're going to be angling up a little bit more into the sort of a 45 like we did with that mock-up plate. And so we're going to use a little bit of a push angle there on the rod.
Okay, so now we're off of the direct overhead. We're coming up into that tack. Again, making sure you're warming it up, getting into that pocket. We didn't get a shot of it, but you can see that rod angle is not so much 90 towards the center of the pipe. It's actually leaned back a little bit. That arc force is actually getting cushioned against the puddle, so I'm trying not to push so much inside of the pipe.
All right, let's take a look at that again, both sides at the same time. We can look at the arc shot and then look at the inside penetration at the same time.
Now coming up to this coming off of the tack, you guys are going to get a really good visual of what is actually happening inside the pipe and how much material you're actually depositing. This vertical section, it's going to be pretty easy to get a sufficient amount of penetration, sufficient amount of reinforcement on the inside. So that was just a real quick clip for you guys to see. Now coming up to this tack, really important you make sure you have enough rod. So you want to kind of gauge how far away from the tack you're going to be before you stop. You don't want it to be too short and you're going to have just a little blip, and you don't want it to be too long where you run out of rod. So I'd say about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Coming up to this tack, I'm really working that puddle, going back inside the puddle so it doesn't keyhole too much and deposit too much material. Nice tie-in, and I just keep going and I just keep going. I want to make sure I don't leave any fish eyes going through my root.
One thing that's obvious to me as I'm watching this, as we're editing this, as we were shooting this, is progression is just much slower. One rod doesn't go very far. There's several restarts and tie-ins in this little shot right here. That's why it's so important to prep your tie-ins correctly, feather them back. Now, if your gap closes up as you're coming to the top, even though you might have had a wedge in it, you got to open it up with a thin wheel.
Okay, so as you see, I'm getting towards the top here. Going to be closing into my tack. Now, I'm in a little bit of a drag angle. To cool off the puddle or to close up the keyhole, I'm going back into the rear of the puddle or working the sidewalls or both. You really want to make sure that you're not ever whipping outside of the puddle. That's when you start getting a lot of porosity. If the keyhole gets too big, you can get porosity. You can see I'm really just working back to the rear of the keyhole, working the sidewalls, trying not to get too much penetration inside the pipe, especially on this top. I'm just really making sure I'm closing everything up, dragging my rod onto my tack. You can see the penetration's a nice even profile, a pretty good tie-in. Now we're going to show you another clip here of me using more of a push technique. Now going with the push technique, you can still get the desired penetration. These are all different techniques we're trying to show you guys in order for you guys to get comfortable in passing this test. Now with this little bit of a 90/push technique, you have to really be careful that you don't not break down the sidewalls, and you'll see it here as I'm coming off of this tack. You'll see that the keyhole is not as prominent as it was with the drag technique. You'll see this fire still coming through the pipe, but you're really not going to get a lot of that penetration unless you really focus on driving that rod in. You'll see I'm hanging back a little bit more on my rod. It's not so much flush with the inside of the pipe. I'm really riding the puddle as I'm climbing up the side of the pipe. Can't hammer enough on the fact that this is a really slow progression. You want to make sure that you leave yourself enough rod. As I'm burning into this tack, you'll see I'm just coming up to it, trying to burn the edge away a little bit of the tack that I prepped, working into it, keep going, and then finally break out. The walls on this picture were broken down. This would still pass an X-ray and it would still pass mechanical. It just does not look nice and consistent with the rest of the route. So that's why we wanted to really show you guys this, to bring it home, the different rod angles and getting comfortable with what rod angle and what amperage works for you.